Yo, what's poppin' AI? It's Alex.
And I'm Anthony, and welcome to another episode of The Exchange.
This week we are talking about stars on the Walk of Fame and on the Walk of Shame.
And later in the show, we will take a look at a student filmmaker here at AI that's doing things a little bit differently. So stay tuned. The verdict that everyone has been waiting for has finally come. The late Michael Jackson's doctor has been found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. The jury found that Murray acted with criminal negligence, which was substantial in the death of the King of Pop. Murray has been sentenced to 4 years in prison.
The rapper Heavy D has died at the age of 44. Lieutenant Mark Rosen of the Beverly Hills Police said that the rapper collapsed outside of his home. When police found him, Heavy D was still conscious and was able to communicate. Unfortunately, he passed later that day at the hospital. Rosen stated there were no signs of foul play. His last tweet to the world was, "Be inspired."
That's what's up.
And those were some good last words. An inspiring artist. This should motivate you. The Grammy winner, Columbia singer Shakira, has been enshrined on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. She unveiled her sidewalk star in front of the West Hollywood Hotel on Hollywood Boulevard. That evening, before she received that, she got a Las Vegas honor and the Latin Grammy Person of the Year.
Film director Brett Ratner is out of a job as an Oscar producer. He submitted the form of resignation this past Tuesday after upsetting many for his continuous use of gay slurs. He made the comment that rehearsal is for fags before directing the film Tower Heist. He later apologized publicly, but the damage had already been done. Gay rights groups and the Academy of Motion Pictures, Arts and Sciences, which brings us the Oscars, found that Ratner's behavior was totally unacceptable, and the information of a replacement for Ratner has not yet been released.
This next one should not be surprising. Lindsay Lohan gets locked up again. Lohan is serving a sentence of 30 days for violating probation. This is her 5th jail sentence since 2007, when she was arrested twice for drunk driving. Really, Lohan?
This time around, Lohan will be serving 420 hours of continuous community service in a morgue. She'll be mopping floors, cleaning bathrooms, and washing dirty sheets. Failure to do so will land her in prison for 270 days.
Okay, and we are just going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will talk sports. Be right back. Now it's time for sports. Woohoo! All right. So this past week in football was a great one. Probably the best game of the week was the New York Giants versus the New England Patriots. The game was completely scoreless in the first half, but things started heating up in the second half when both teams began playing more aggressive offense.
The game came down to the last minute after Tom Brady led his offense down the field to score with about a minute and a half left. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough because Manning and the Giants didn't get discouraged, and Manning capitalized on his own game-winning drive, winning the game 24-20 as the Giants, putting the Giants atop the NFC East with a record of 6-2. The Patriots fall to 5-3, putting them in a three-way tie with the Jets and the Buffalo Bills in the AFC East.
The New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills played this past week. The Jets dominated most of the game with a score of 27-11. This is a much-needed win for the Jets, who had a shaky start in the beginning of the season. However, this is a terrible loss for the Buffalo Bills, who were on a roll with needing that win to be on top of the AFC East. Maybe next time, guys.
All right. There have been a lot of surprises this season in the NFL, such as the 6-2 Bengals, led by rookie quarterback Andy Dalton, and the most surprising team of them all are my San Francisco 49ers, with a record of 7-1, already a game ahead of what they won all last year, of only winning 6 games.
But let's not get too excited, because there have been some disappointments to this season. With teams such as the Eagles, who are 3-5, after being hyped as the possible Super Bowl contender after making some big moves this offseason.
A game that had many on the edge of the seats this past weekend was the BCS #1 versus #2 with LSU and the Alabama Crimson Tide. LSU won the game by a field goal with the score of 9-6, but it's only a smidgen of what's been going on in the NCAA football season. More is to come this weekend. Games to look forward to is Virginia Tech versus Georgia Tech, Nebraska and Penn State, Oregon and Stanford. The NCAA basketball season is about to get underway.
Here is a sensitive topic. In Mississippi, citizens have voted against the Personhood Amendment. The beliefs behind this amendment are that human life begins at the fertilization of the egg. That means that this amendment would have made abortion illegal. And it would also mean that the passing of this amendment could challenge abortion's rights nationwide.
You would think that since this event is taking place in what is known as the Bible Belt, that it would have more likely to be passed. However, this past week, more than 55% of the voters voted otherwise. Some have looked at the possibility that passing this amendment would also change certain kinds of bans on contraceptives, like the morning after pill.
Keith Mason, co-founder of the group Personhood USA, which pushed the Mississippi ballot measure, has said a win would send shockwaves around the country. The Colorado-based group is trying to put similar initiatives on 2012 ballots in Florida, Montana, Ohio, and Oregon. Voters in Colorado rejected similar proposals in 2008 and 2010.
Longtime Penn State head coach Joe Paterno will not be able to retire at the end of this season because he was forcefully fired after allegations came out about his defensive coordinator, Jerry Sandusky. Sandusky had been indicted on charges of sexual abuse of 8 boys over 15 years ago. Though Paterno leaves under these circumstances, made it, it was an unfortunate dismissal. After his run at 46 years as Penn State's head coach.
After the break, we're going to talk about a film student here at AI that seems to be doing things a little different than others.
We'll be right back.
Hey Gavin, I bet you won't dunk. Watch this.
Welcome back to The Exchange.
This week on For Real, we take a look at my boy Heath Simmons, who is a very talented filmmaker that is now directing a web series called Del and Del. It is a show about 2 brothers, Del and Del, who spend their day getting into all kinds of trouble.
Hey man, you know you have a boxes ahead? Man, stick to the subject. What are we doing today?
I don't know. You tell me what we're doing today.
I got it. We could start a rock band.
It's a great idea. And we can name it Boxhead.
Let's do it.
Looks like a series worth watching.
And it just goes to show you that inspiration can come from anywhere. This project started from a photo book series, and now it's turned itself into a web series.
We will definitely keep you updated as Dell and Dell progresses. But that's all we have for this week. I'm Alex.
And I'm Anthony. So tune in next week for another episode of The Exchange.
I feel like being a dick.